I am Andy. Hey everybody, it's me, it's Andy, here to do a vlog because today I did something interesting and I was told last time that my vlog was interesting enough to do something else if I could think of something. So, I did something interesting, so I've thought of something else. I can talk about Guardians of the Galaxy because I saw that today, the movie that's hitting cinemas everywhere in the UK at the moment and will be coming to America very soon, I'm sure. I don't know about Canada, it might already be out there or might be hitting the same time as America, probably that. But yeah, my background on Guardians of the Galaxy is I started reading them or took notice of them during Annihilation Conquest, I think they first appeared in, which takes place after Annihilation. Which was my first kind of exposure to the cosmic universe of Marvel, which is really worth a read, guys. If you haven't read the cosmic stuff, granted it's had a bit of a reboot and stuff, but Annihilation, really worth it. Three volumes, 3 trades, and you're dandy. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about the movie, and I'm aware of the comic stuff for the most part, so I came in with kind of knowledge and was like, oh, I know this, and there's things happening here which I understand, which I like. So we'll talk about the actors first. I will go through their character names because I'm really bad at celebrity names. So Star-Lord, Peter Quill. He was really good. I think he did a fairly good representation of what he was like in the comic. The best way to describe him is people were worried, and I've heard people, well, my friends anyway, have said, oh, well, I don't know, I think he looks like he's doing a bit of the Tony Stark kind of humour. And I'm like, well, it's kind of the Marvel humour that they're kind of going for now. I saw what they said, but after seeing the movie, I would much more describe him as the sexy baby offspring of, like, Tony Stark and Han Solo. He had a very big Han Solo feel to him. Then if you rub that baby maker of Tony Stark with the baby maker of Han Solo, you kind of get this Star-Lord baby made of both of these characters, these movie characters, and that's kind of how I felt he was portraying him, or at least that's the interpretation I got of the character. You know, bit of a rogue, but a bit sexy, with all that Tony Stark comedy thrown in there as well. So yeah, it worked nicely. He got me smiling and laughing quite a few times, and I know he will be some eye candy for the ladies with his shirt flopping off and whatnot, you know. So that's good. That's good for them. He was as effective as Star-Lord should be in the movie. He gets the most development as well. Obviously, he's the title character of Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's the one that you're meant to relate with because he's an Earthling, and you know, we gotta focus on the guys that you can relate to most, and you know, it's a good way to introduce you to the, you know, the rest of the universe through the eyes of a human, effectively. So I think that, you know, his backstory is interesting. Gamora. When I originally saw her in the trailers and stuff, I was like, I don't know. I don't really feel Gamora-y from her. And then she does the acting and stuff and her action scenes, and I was like, bingo, you got it. Alright, the trailer didn't do you justice. You have portrayed Gamora extremely well, and her backstory, again, really interesting, accurate to the comics. Big tick for her. Rocket Raccoon. I've just seen Planet of the Apes, so I've seen incredibly good CG apes. I would say this is not as good in terms of quality as those apes were done. But Rocket Raccoon is still very, very good CG-wise. He's fantastic. He looks really good. He looks very lifelike. You can tell he's CG still, because there's just no way to get around it, really. But they make him emote and they make him talk, and the lip sync and everything is very spot on. And they even get, you know, moisture and stuff on his fur looking quite convincing as well, which is good. And again, the character of Rocket Raccoon is kind of the one-liner kind of dude thrown out there going boo 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 with the one-liners and the quips. And again, he did a great job. I didn't think the voice actor was going to do a smashing job, because I originally heard him once again in the trailer where he goes, yeah, with the gun in his hand. I was like, oh, I don't know, buddy. I was like, guy, pull your pants up. And even that line during the movie, I didn't like the delivery of that at all. It just, I don't know, it felt weird to me. But he actually did a good job. I thought it was convincing. It was very Rocket Raccoon-y. and it's much more appealing than the strange Australian accents that the cartoons have given him. I think it's the best rendition of Rocket Raccoon we've had so far. Granted, there's barely any, but you know, he is Rocket Raccoon. His buddy Groot, one could say, is the most underdeveloped character in the movie, but since he can only say, "I am Groot," that's just what his race does. I didn't mind. Vin Diesel emoted those lines well. I'm not going to say he was amazing, because he only had to say, "I am Groot," in a couple of different ways, so I'm sure that was an afternoon's work or something. I don't know, I can only assume it was an afternoon's work. "I am Groot" a couple of times, just say differently again. But he did it well, he said "I am Groot" well. You don't really need to know Groot's backstory at this point. I'm sure it might be developed upon a bit further on down the line with any luck. I'd say the most underdeveloped character we had, who could speak more than 3 words, was Drax. You were given his backstory and made to go, I should care about him. And he has funny lines in there, don't get me wrong. I think his character, they tweaked bits of his character to make him a bit more entertaining and a bit more unique among them. But he didn't wow me. People say Dave Bautista's not a good actor. I thought he did alright for the role. He didn't offend me. He got the job done. He delivered most of his lines fairly well. I think 1 or 2 of them I was like, not perfect, but it was fine. Other lines I was like, yeah, all right. You've done a good line read here. That's perfectly good. So the Guardians of the cast, as a cast of heroes, were good. Like I say, Peter Quill, the guy focused on the most for good reason, and the rest of them, Gamora, second biggest development there, but she's the female lead, so it makes sense, and then kind of dropping down from there. But all in all, a good solid cast. However, Ronan, who I like Ronan the Accuser. Generally in the comics, I think Ronan the Accuser is a really interesting character. I'm not sure I would ever really describe him as a villain. He does things that you don't really agree with, because you're on the other side of his hammer, kind of thing. But he's doing everything for his people. This was a little bit different. Oddly enough, which I thought was the strangest thing, and it's not a spoiler, is Ronan is pretty much the only Kree in the movie. You see literally one other Kree member, and the Kree Empire is not involved at all. He's working with this, I don't know, effectively, we'll call them necromongers, because they call them necro-somethings, or at least they describe the weaponry or the technology as necro-somethings. So we'll just say necromongers, because why not? These are very much the Chitauri kind of villains from the Avengers 1. They're just kind of there to be CG things to kill, or to stand in the way of the people. It felt strange that it wasn't any Kree or anything like that. I was like, oh, okay. They try and give a reason, but I'm not 100% behind why the Kree weren't more involved. Because Ronan's an important dude there. Ronan had no development really. He's very much the Malekith, the Dark Elf from Thor 2 kind of bad guy, which is a shame, because again, Malekith is quite a cool villain. He's not really given anything to do in Thor 2, and Ronan wasn't given much to do here either. He was there to be something for the heroes to fight against, and I understand once again why Ronan had to be that kind of character, because they need to develop the heroes. So, because no one knows who the Guardians are apart from people who've read the comics, and even most people who read comics haven't read the Guardian stuff. So again, it makes sense. But when you have a character like Ronan, who again I really like, and who is a big part, as far as I'm concerned, of the cosmic universe, to have him in a role like that and have him not really pushed, developed, it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, it's a shame, and I would have liked them to have done either not used Ronan and found some other kind of space flunky to use, like maybe Ravenous. Like I say, shame Ronan's not really used to an effective degree, I would say. Karen Gillan as Nebula, it was pretty good. I haven't seen Nebula in the comics for a while, The last time I saw her was granted during the Infinity Gauntlet, where I don't think she was exactly like this, but Karen Gillan did a good job with her. You know, for a very small role, there was a lot of emotion and interesting things she did, and nice visual effects. Some a bit creepy, and I'm like, not sure if that would happen when that's happened, which you'll understand when you've seen the movie, but okay. Yeah, she did a good job. I was happy with her. Who else? The Nova Corps don't seem to be able to do, let's just say, Green Lantern stuff, because that's what the Nova Corps are. The Nova Corps are effectively the Green Lantern Corps of the Marvel Universe. And that doesn't seem to be what they do in the movie Marvel Universe, which I suppose makes sense because that would be a whole bag of fish and kettles and difficulty to try and deal with all that stuff. So probably just limiting them to just an army, you know, with ships and stuff, probably made it easier, but I was like, bit of a shame. I'll talk about the story as a whole. I won't go into details and stuff, but I thought as a whole, as an introduction to the universe, and to give all the protagonists a cause to come together and fight an antagonist, and the antagonist's reason, which I've mentioned, is a bit wobbly at best because it's not really talked about that much. For the hero side of things, it's great. It's good. It does the job. It gets you from A to B, and you have a lot of fun along the way, and you see a lot of places well, you don't actually see a lot of places, but you see places in the universe which otherwise you wouldn't see. It's very much a space opera kind of movie, and that's a good thing. I've heard people describe it as kind of a mix between Star Wars and Star Trek kind of thing. Like, could that work? Yes, it could, and they did a good job at kind of pushing them together and making that that love baby, very much like the Peter Quill, Han Solo, Tony Stark baby. They did a good job there. They did a good job with the universe for the most part, I think. What were things I didn't like about the movie? Ronan was one of the things I would have liked Ronan to have done. Had a bit more to him. And there was another thing which I can't talk about. But if people want me to do a spoilers video, then you can ask, and I will maybe do a spoiler vlog and talk about the thing I didn't, the specific thing I didn't like. This isn't a spoiler. There's no prelude to a new Marvel movie, so there's usually you'd have like a lead into Thor or Guardians of the Galaxy or Avengers or something. I was hoping we'd have a lead into a next movie. Like, it would have been nice to have like a lead into Ant-Man or one of the other movies that they've alluded to from San Diego Comic-Con. You don't get that. You do get an after-end credit scene sequence right at the very end. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you do get one of them. It doesn't add... It's once again, it doesn't add anything to the universe or to the story. It just makes you go, oh, that's interesting. I didn't see them ever doing anything like that, but okay. Sure. If you talk about that in the comments, I will delete it because I don't want people to be spoiled on that thing. Would I say it's worth waiting for? Maybe, maybe for a little bit of a laugh, but since I was actually hoping for a lead into either Age of Ultron or Ant-Man, or like I say, a setup for something else down the line, I was a little disappointed that that's all we got. But I suppose if you know that, yeah, you're going to be okay with it. So, is there anything else worth talking about? The visuals are really good. Yondu, Michael Rooker. I don't know much about Yondu, but he was an interesting-ish character. Not a lot to him, once again. But his gimmick, shall we say, in the movie was a neat one. And when he did it, when he had his moment in the movie, I heard a lot of people go, or, oh, that's badass. And I was like, yeah, that's not too bad. Everyone really has their moment in the movie. Everybody has a chance to steal the scene, to have their own moment, and you go, that was cool. They did a good job there. Good on that actor. Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't want to harp on too much longer. It's really worth seeing. If you're not sure about who the Guardians are, and I get really depressed when I hear this, I don't care who the Guardians are. I'm like, why do you care who Spider-Man is? Because you know Spider-Man. When you get to know these characters, you'll care about them. Go see the movie, you will care about these characters, I'm sure. Hopefully, we will continue to see more space stuff as things go on. Hopefully, the Fantastic Four movie will fall through and die, and they'll give the license back, because the Fantastic Four license holds a lot of cosmic stuff, which I would like to see, transfer over to the real Marvel movies. So, yes, go see Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope I've done an okay job talking about it without spoiling anything. I think I have, because I've just covered bits here and there. I can't really think of anything else to say, so thank you guys for watching. I hope it's been okay. If it has, let me know, and I might do something else in the future, vloggy wise, with the hands and whatnot. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'd like to hear your opinions on Guardians of the Galaxy in the comments below, of course, without spoilers. If I do see a spoiler, or something I consider a spoiler, I will have to delete it, because until it's out in America, people don't want to know this stuff. So, just a warning: if you go, where's my comment gone now? It's been deleted because of spoilers. So, yeah. Thanks anyway, guys, and I will catch you next time for something. I don't know what though.